You Africans, please listen to me as Africans. And you non-Africans, listen to me with open mind.
Welcome to the Smiling Suffer podcast. On the mic, you got Corey. And next to me, we got Mr. James Bond.
Black.
The Black James Bond.
Okay, G.
Yes.
Actually, I'm pretty sure that's Idris Elba.
Who the fuck is that? That's me, man.
Idris Elba.
Did you see? I got my Chelsea boots on today, man.
He's the Black James Bond.
Yeah, Joker.
I got my black Chelsea boots.
And next to Wale, we have Unknown. Don't worry, we don't have
Anonymous.
Anonymous. How y'all doing today?
We're good.
Oh yeah. Oh, by the way, Yeti couldn't make it today, man. I think she's
always flaking on us,
under
man.
the no. She's under the weather.
It's a lie. She's always flaking.
Hope you get well soon, Yeti.
Yeti didn't want to talk to you guys today, man.
I think she had some kind of allergic reaction to something.
Is that her version of the story?
And I told her I'd send her picture. Just like.
Are you sure she didn't pay somebody to to do that?
Yeah, but unfortunately Yeti couldn't make it today. But we have one of our producers filling in for her today, so I think we'll be fine.
Think so too.
Well, our only producer, the way I'm talking, you think we
You
have
gotta hype it up now, size it up.
like
now.
a few producers.
This guy, they don't know that. They don't know that.
So, what did you think about that last track, Wale?
I love it, man.
That's Niniola, right?
Niniola,
designer
produced by Sarz, man.
By Niniola.
It sounds
Sarz.
even better, like in headphones than in the car.
Actually, it says featuring Sarz, but
Oh, do you know the song?
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
I'm sure I posted a
On my
song before,
playlist.
so
Really?
On my Apple playlist.
It's a nice
is,
track.
it is.
It's a nice track.
Yeah, it's really nice.
We're gonna start off today's conversation with production, Afrobeat production, and we're gonna try to talk about some of the producers out there. The first being Sarz. I think it's safe to say right now, and Wale, correct me if
I
I'm
think
wrong.
he's the best.
Right now, the most I'm trying to think of a term.
Most versatile producer.
The most versatile, and probably the highest achieving producer we have.
I think so.
Right now. It's safe to say it's
I think
Sarz.
so.
Sarz on the beat. He was credited for One Dance, right?
Yes.
Now he produced that song originally.
Yes.
And I think 40
Yes.
probably just added his own flavor to it. But the story is
One
he produces.
Dance.
So wait, now did he get producing
He has
credits?
producing credits. Wiz also has the producing credits, which is weird.
Why is that weird?
Wiz is not a producer.
He's not a producer.
But they both have producing credits.
So, and One Dance was number 1 on the charts. So I think it's safe to say that's probably the only Nigerian-based producer that has reached that level. He's had plenty other songs.
So actually, let's just be sure, because One Dance, they give it to Maforisa actually.
For what?
DJ Maforisa, he's from South Africa. He has that song with Wizkid, Soweto too.
Yeah.
But I think I don't think he got credit for that actually. I think they gave it to Wiz instead of Sarz.
Sarz.
Yes.
But the word on the street was that Sarz was one that originally produced
Yes, I
it.
think so. But
So what else does Sarz have?
We can just
Just
put
in
a
terms
star
of-
on that one. But
in terms of production, like
he has a lot, man. He did Come Closer, Wiz.
yes, he did.
Bit of Life, Sayonara, yeah.
That was a whole wave.
He's
back
done
then.
a lot of early Wizkid, mid Wizkid. He's done, like, I didn't have time to pull up his discography, but he's done, a lot, a lot of stuff. And he's the one who did the Niniola Maradona.
Yeah, he did Maradona.
That was him. And like him and Niniola.
Was he behind Ojo Elegba?
No, I don't know if he was behind. You know what? He might be. I don't know if he was behind Ojo Elegba.
Because I feel like that was one of the songs that really put.
No, because
Wizkid
Wiz,
out
I don't
there
want
on
to
the map.
Wiz, because Wiz usually rotates producers. Like Wiz doesn't really stick to, he had Legendary Beats at one point.
Yes.
You know,
Legendary Beats.
Legendary Beats did, you know, a lot of Wiz beats. I think they're the ones who did that one with Femi Kuti. If you call a woman African woman, that Wiz was saying, I forgot the name of the song. But yeah, they've done a lot together.
All right, so I have a list here. I actually have a list here. Bad Energy. He did Bad
Yeah,
Energy.
Bad Energy, yeah.
Leg Work. Interesting.
No, Leg Work is which one? He has one. That's the one I want to actually.
Oh, no,
use.
yeah.
He
Sorry,
has
it's the
one,
Leg Work Riddim he did.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Leg Work Riddim he did. He did Bad Energy. He did Samba.
Yeah, that's when I said Samba.
Samba. What else does he have here?
Sarz is done. You know, I can't really think about a lot, but he's done a lot. He's done for people like Reminisce. He's done for people.
I know we have to do him justice.
So Jai was the one that did it actually. That's the one I was thinking of. Jai, Wizkid. He's done a lot, but you know, more recently his body of work has been with I think he's been
Kondo.
working. He did Kondo. See, there you go.
That was
yes,
2009 with Da Green.
With Da Green, yes, that's true. I remember that he did Kondo.
Lord of Ajasa.
Yeah, Sarz has been around for a minute.
Joe, remember Joe?
Yeah, he's been around
Jobless.
for a minute. Yeah, he did Salute by Shank.
Salute, yes. I'm going down the list here.
So he's done a lot. And he's been here for a while.
Yeah,
I think he's probably
been
done.
here. And this was as far back as 2007.
Yeah, Sarz has been
2008.
It's not new.
He did Shank. He did songs with Shank.
Yeah, that's Salute. He did with Shank.
2011 Banky W Low Key. Neto C Super C season. What else? He worked with Shank a lot back then. Badman he did.
So
Dance for Me in 2012. Get Down Tonight. He did a bunch of songs with LD back then. 2013 he did.
He's done a lot more with Whiskey.
Jaye.
He's the one that did. Dang, I don't know if he's the one that did Codeine Diet.
Yeah. But moving on to 2014. What else? Okay, he had a few over here. Buddy, Reminisce. He worked with Reminisce.
But anyways, Sarz done a lot. He did Diet. I'm on a Codeine Diet.
He did Codeine Diet.
So, but anyways, here's the thing: you need to let's move on from.
Yeah.
You can tell that it's different. You can't really pinpoint. So, Codeine Diet is a Shaku Shaku song. You have songs like the Shank ones. They're more dancehall-ish. You have Come Closer with Wizkid. You have he's very versatile. You have the one we just played right now. You know, and like Nigerian producers are blessed, but a lot of them you can kind of once you hear the song, you kind of say, "Oh, is this guy or is this that guy?" But with Sarz, sometimes you don't know.
You never know.
You know, and he's killing it. You know, and he's been working closely now with Niniola and what's that guy that like WurlD? Is it WurlD or WurlD? Whatever.
WurlD.
But he's been working with him and they've been doing amazing projects together. I don't know if they have an album coming up, but I think they should.
You posted something on the thread the other day. Some tweets he was putting.
Yeah,
out.
he was talking about so he has the song Wizkid and Pato Rankin on Pato's album.
What was it called again?
This Kind Love.
This Kind Love.
So he said
he did me like womp, womp, womp.
He produced it. Wiz sent him. Wiz did his part and sent him the song to listen to.
Yep.
And he didn't like it. And then Wiz called him to be like, "Oh, the song is nice, right?" And he was like, "Yeah." But even though he didn't like it, but then he was like, "No, guy, truthfully, I like your part, but I think Pato Rankin's part is shit."
And he was
and
shitting
then
on
Wizkid
him.
was like, "Guy, yo, speak up for Pato Rankin is here." You get so, but you know, kudos to them. Kudos to Pato Rankin for not letting that sway him because the song did come out like that. And you know, it's a nice song. And Sarz said, you know, he must have been on something because actually it is a nice song. You know.
Yeah, his real name is, I think he's one of these Benin boys. Osabon here, Osaritin. 29 years old. He's even pretty young.
Well, it's good.
So
He's done a lot.
He
But
has
you
a
know,
lot
so
ahead
he's
of
one
him.
of the. I like the style he's going, like, especially with like WurlD, Niniola. He's giving us house-ish vibes, and like Niniola's songs can get like DJs, like I think it was like DJ Snake that did the Maradona Riddim. Like they can get reusing stuff like that. A lot of our songs can't really be, you know, like you look at back then, Jamaican songs, what made them good was like the different rhythms they have, and then like you hear one beat, but you hear like 10 different versions, and eventually you will like one of them, and people can mix that. They want to mix it. So like Niniola songs get played in like, you know, quote unquote white clubs and pop clubs, you know, because his beats, like
a South African.
Yeah, it's like it has a sound. So he does. So he did that. You know, there's a lot. You know, if you get into a list of producers, there's a lot. But I think he's the top right now.
He's up there, and he has an album out right now.
Number 2?
He has an album.
He has an album right now called which is tightly
and
right.
It's just full of rhythms.
I love it, and it's tightly is titled "Sarz is not your mate."
What I like is that he keeps experimenting with his sound, and that's what I appreciate about him.
That's what that is.
And too many producers, they don't.
They
just do the same cookie
when
cutter.
When you listen
copy
to,
and paste type of
and
beats.
I don't want to be the anti YBNL guy or Olamide guy, but like, you know, Olamide came out with WurlD recently, and I said that's what he does best. He just knows how to hop on a wave or create a wave and stay relevant. What's that?
Yeah.
It's outside. Someone's car.
Hold on a second.
You want to check and make sure it's not yours. You were asking something. You asked something earlier.
I said if he's number 1, who's number 2?
Good question. Good question. I don't know. Wale, don't worry. Just come back.
I gotta make sure now. You say it.
Yeah, don't worry. It's not yours. As long as it's not yours.
Yeah, I couldn't say.
And you locked your car. Already.
Yeah. Anyways, so you have, back to what I was saying, you have with like the Phils and Young John. You can kind of tell, especially Young John.
So
Young John
Onyade was asking who if Sarz is number 1, who's number 2?
I don't know, man, because a lot of guys, like the guys who are doing like Burna's new stuff, but they are not yet been.
Who did Killing Them?
You look it up actually. Burna's been trying some new. I don't want to say they're new because some of these guys you would think they're new and then you realize that man they've actually done one of your most favorite songs before. But I think number 2 is gonna be hard. I used to like Sheezy, but Sheezy's been quiet.
Sheezy's the one that does most of DMW's.
He used
stuff,
to do
right?
no. Now it's produced by KLP. That's what I'm like. Do you understand? I've never heard of the guy before, but I'm pretty sure he might have done some hits before. Sheezy used to do a lot of the video stuff back then, but now I think it's not long. It moved from Sheezy to Kidomina, from Kidomina to Fresh.
What about the one that I always say, really? Like they had, I think you know that tag?
Yeah, there's a tag. Yeah, there's a lot. You know, that's the thing. A lot of these new cats, I don't really know their names, but I don't know number 2. I like Kidominant a lot though,
and I think it's important to know these producers because they're the ones driving. I like Kidominant a lot.
I think I also like this guy, Techno.
Techno is a
Techno
producer.
brings out new sound. But I don't know who number 2 is gonna be, man.
Phils is really young, Sha. Philip Kayode Moses. He's 24 years old. 1994.
Some of these things might be football age though, but
1994.
It's possible.
He's worked mostly with Lolamide.
Yeah, Phils.
He did Duro Soke.
One producer I like that people don't necessarily give credit to is Gospel on the Beat.
So what song?
Listen to that No Killing by Pat Rankin. No Kissing,
No Kissing.
That beat is crazy. Like every time recently I was watching a reaction to it and like they were more reacting to the beat than to the song. So they're like, yo, what's this? You know, like what's that sound? You know, like, and I watched the behind. He did a YouTube video of how he created the beat and like this guy's it's amazing. Like this guy has like 10 instruments playing. Like you pick it up after once you start hearing, you know, and it goes. Dun, dun, yeah.
Yeah, that's a job.
He did a good job. So we have a lot. We have a lot of good guys, but number 1 is Sarz. I don't know what number 2 is.
I'm looking at Phil's discography right now.
Legendary beats too,
and he has quite a few. And
then not only Nigeria, let's get there. Q Beats. There's you know, we got the Ghanaian brothers. You know, I think Q Beats is one of them. So let's give them out today too. They've adapted to our Nigeria sound.
Q Beats. So what did Q Beats do?
A lot of this guy's songs. That group, the duo. I forget them. R2Bs. A lot of R2B songs.
Is he Ghanaian?
R2B is a Ghanaian. You don't
know
No,
I'm saying is the producer Ghanaian?
Yeah, Q Beats is Ghanaian.
Q Beats is Ghanaian.
Yeah.
Interesting. Let me see what it looks like. Q Beats.
Q Beats is Ghanaian.
Can you spell it?
Q Beats, like it kills the
Like
beats, but with a Z. Qbeat is Ghanaian. He's done a lot of R2B, like Slow Down.
Yeah,
with
Ghanaian
Wizkid.
music producer.
He's done. He did Azonto
from
with
Tema.
Fuse. You know Fuse, that Fuse song
Yes.
Azonto. He did Antenna with Fuse. He did a lot of CCTV with King Promise, which is a good one. Yeah.
Okay, so
He did that one when Ed Sheeran went to Ghana. He's the one that produced that Ed Sheeran song.
Word?
Yeah, that BB. Yeah, so he's good. He's so we got people like that too. We can't forget them.
Let me see. I'm seeing something about Qbeat's Grammy. Becomes first Ghanaian producer to win a Grammy.
Probably from Ed Sheeran's album.
Get out of here.
Yeah, probably from Ed Sheeran's album. Yeah.
Hold on.
What song is that? What
It's a song Ed
to look
Sheeran
up.
sang in there. Is
You're
it
right.
Tree?
Ed Sheeran. It was on the Divide album.
Yeah, I think their language is called. I forget what
60th
it's called.
Grammy Awards was held on Sunday.
Tree?
I think that's what
Blah
it's
blah
called.
blah
yeah.
blah blah. BB.
BB is BB something. BB. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
The song was part of Ed Sheeran's
Yep.
Divide album, which won Best Vocal Album. So I guess as a result, he
yeah.
won.
So we can't.
That's huge, man. That's huge. I'm glad you brought that up, because if we had missed that, the Ghanaians would have, our Ghanaian people would have let us hear.
We can't. We can't forget them.
Qbeat. That's dope.
But there's a lot of other Nigerians. Spells. Did we talk about Spells? Spells is good.
Spells. Can you spell it?
Spells. Spells is the one that did Askamaya. Askamaya.
Spells. Benjamin
Obaje. Yep. Fresh from Davido's team. I just don't like when one producer is doing like everything. That's my problem. So
I feel like
Davido has a way of doing this thing where he sticks to one producer for like a year. You produce every song he does, and then by next, which helps his music too. But the only thing that for that whole year, that's why you have like this likes of If and Fall. Like if you play If and Fall together, you can almost sing it as one song.
As one, yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I don't know which one I'm listening to.
Yeah. Sometimes, and a lot. But the thing is, that's what happens to the song every year. But the good thing is, he switches them up. Yeah, every other year or whatever. So
did you guys hear
there's
that?
the guy who did Soccer. It's called Knock Boy.
Soccer. Oh yes,
He did Soccer. He did Gucci Snake. It's called Knock Boy. Yeah.
Who is the person doing all these?
And then you have
all these new
you have
Zanku
Killer.
beats.
You have Killer Tunes also, which is also.
So who's the person doing a lot of these Zanku beats? Is it the same person that's doing a lot of these Zanku type beats? These Able God.
You can look at who did Able God.
Able God producer. Let me look it up.
But as far as like body of work goes, as far as body of work goes, you have DLB, who did Mad Over You.
He worked a lot with Runtown.
That's
right?
another like.
Because I remember
he was on Wizkid's sound from the other side. So you have like a lot of, you have Sess, the problem producer, who does a lot of foul stuff. So you have a lot of guys. But as far as like consistency, for me it's Sarz, Kidominat. Like those two guys, they've never disappointed me. Kidominat did well. Like Kidominat has that song that he did also, Fela and Versace.
Yeah, he did.
We killed the song, and then you have Legendary Beats, who's I think they're going into their own like music career. And then you have like the
Legendary
old heads.
Beats was behind Azonto actually.
by
he
Wizkid's
did the
Azonto.
Wizkid Azonto. He did let me see.
God, there's a lot, and there's a lot, there's a lot of new
Ginger,
guys,
number
you
one,
have all them. You talk about Spells now, right?
Yeah, we talked about Spells.
Even this guy,
Legendary did Ojo Elegba.
even Legendary did,
Ojo Elegba.
even that's what I thought. Even this guy,
He did Caro too.
there's a guy called
Caro.
Ade did Juice. Too more juice, too more sauce. It's his name is, I think it's Ade on Instagram. Something like. There's a lot of producers.
When it comes to
consistency,
music, right? You have to give it to Nigerians. We are very skilled at this stuff.
Yeah.
I wanted to go back to Sarz. One of the things I like about him is his use of instruments. I've heard trumpets in his songs. I've heard ilu, like those
drums.
those drums. Those local drums. I've heard.
Don't forget, shout out Malik Berry too.
Oh yeah, he's a good
producer.
producer.
He produced.
But I feel like a lot of his songs,
they sound a lot too.
They sound a lot alike.
Well, he sings when he sings.
they sound a lot
Let me
alike.
forget this guy who did a lot of Flavor and Banky W songs, Mastercraft.
Mastercraft.
So there's a lot, man. Yeah, I'm saying there's a lot.
Mastercraft.
I mean, your guy self. Even though it doesn't produce again Don Jazzy,
So I was going to get to Don Jazzy. I was actually going to try to end the conversation with Don Jazzy, because we have to admit the godfather of all of them is Don Jazzy. What Don Jazzy did for
I think the
music beat
godfather
production.
of them is OJB. R.I.P.
Oh yes,
OJB,
yes. Because I know even Don Jazzy used to shout out to
yeah.
OJB. OJB kind of started it, and he kind of
But the new
created
age,
a
maybe
lane.
the new
He
age.
created a lane, but then Don Jazzy took it and
yeah,
ran
the
with
new
it.
age one
And then,
is
but
Don
not only
Jazzy,
did
yeah.
he run with it, he sustained it for years.
He did.
Years. I'm talking about, like, I have his list in front of me right now, man. It's not even. It's too many to list.
Yeah. He did the new age music.
All of them,
you know,
all his artists, he produced all their albums.
Yeah.
And he had a way, even though yes, he would stick with that. I noticed what Don Jazzy, he would have a sound and he would kind of beat that sound to the ground, and then he would switch to something different. I remember when he came out with Eminado. As soon as he came out with that, he had like a bunch of songs that sounded just like that. And then
I like the earlier Don Jazzy, the More Hits Don Jazzy. I prefer the More Hits Don Jazzy because I think the More Hits Don Jazzy did more work than the
You think so?
Maven Don Jazzy, because a lot of people said the Maven Don Jazzy had those two producers, I forget their name, who did most of his work. Some people even claimed he just would tag his name on it. But the old Don Jazzy of More Hits,
Bumper to
he
bumper.
was yes, the Don Jazzy.
That's
the Don Jazzy I
Who
like.
born the Maga?
That was the Don Jazzy that
Something about
was
you.
not even easy accessible. Like
What?
I remember when he did the song with Sauce Kid on that G.
On that G, yeah.
Everybody was like, "Whoa, what?" Because he didn't used to work outside of,
His own artist.
at the time. But I think the Maven Don Jazzy, because he then became like the CEO.
Yeah.
He wanted to go a different direction. I mean, you can't really be running a label and then be producing, even though it wasn't like he was still running Mohits, but it was like he was more of a backseat in Mohits. So I think he had the time to. But then coming to Mavis, you're like the face of the. So I guess it probably took away from his producing, and like, you evolve. He's a businessman now.
And then he also produced for Kanye and Jay-Z. You can't forget that. He produced Lift Off.
Yeah, it was.
featuring
He has
Beyonce.
credit on Lift Off. Yeah.
He worked.
I just
on-
feel like I don't know, man. My problem with Jazzy, I
Don
think,
Jazzy is the
is that
godfather.
I no, but
I
see,
mean,
my problem when it comes to
the decades he
I
spanned.
wanted him to do so much more with more hits, and that's where I think my disinterest
But
with Jazzy started when I saw an interview he did.
But nothing lasts forever.
No, but I saw an interview he did, and it seemed like he was very comfortable. And a lot of people are fine that way, being a big fish in a small pond. And it's funny, we're having this argument the other day.
Okay.
Would you rather be a big fish in a small pond or a big fish in a big pond?
In a big pond.
Or a small, and because people always think you'd rather be a big fish in a small pond or a small fish in a big pond. You can be a big fish in a big pond. He seemed very like, because he'll say stuff like in the interview was like, I send them beats when I make it. If they like it, they use it. If they don't like it, they don't use it. I'm like, dude, you have the platform to actually be the best producer in the world. But he was like, he didn't seem like he wanted to. I don't want to say he didn't want to apply himself. Yeah. I do know, like, he was saying he was pissed because, not pissed, but like Kanye always wanted that same beat, that that song, Give It To Me Now, Give Me Now. Like Kanye kept always referencing that song, and I don't think he wanted to recreate the same type of beat again. But I understand it's a new market, and you're done from where you're coming from. But this is time for you
He
to
just
go.
wasn't comfortable.
This is time for you to go into the bigger world and be like, you know what? I can be a whale in the Atlantic Ocean.
But tell me, how did that whole? I remember that time.
How did what?
It was around that time.
Yeah?
The band was moving on with.
How did what?
How did the whole thing end? After that whole thing happened, with the band going off with Kanye, and then Don Jazzy coming back to Nigeria. Remember, they were stuck in New York for a while.
Yes, they were stuck in New York for a while.
And then
guy,
he was producing for Kanye for a while.
Guy,
and then he said he got sick of it.
Yes.
He moved back home.
Yes.
The band stayed with Kanye.
Yes.
How did that whole thing end? He came back. He established maybe.
But do you know that we have
records after that?
Wait. You guys should not disrespect the band, because the band is the reason why we're having this conversation. Okay. If not for the band, there will probably still be more hits. Don Jazzy would have never gotten credit on these guys. Don Jazzy would have been only, who knows what he will still be doing in Nigeria right now. This, obviously, the situation helped him. The band is the reason why. They didn't listen to his song and say, oh, get me that producer. It's the band they met.
But then
the band fought for this.
But then they split up.
Yes.
And we didn't.
Sure, it was a blessing in disguise for him, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't give because if the band was an average Joe and when he heard Kanye was going to be the same airport and he was like, oh, cool, Kanye, let me take a picture like most of our artists do. They'll take a picture and they'll be writing, check this space, work coming soon. I'm like, guy, you're not doing shit. The band took it further than that. The band is the reason why they went to New York. The band is the reason why they were stuck in New York.
He took risks.
He took the risk. The band is the reason why why Wiz is signed to RCA. The band is the reason why the video was signed to RCA. The band is the reason why they're looking into our music. Because someone has to take that step first.
He did.
The band is the reason why Don Jazzy ended up being his own CEO, because eventually there might have still been more hits.
I mean,
they might have still been, yeah.
So
both of them, yeah, but one, I don't think one would.
Ultimately, the talent that really mattered, that really drove that success, that really drove that partnership. I mean, it was Don Jazzy.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think it was. You
don't think so?
I think it was One Day and the rest, because they used to say One Day and the rest used to write. One Day and K Switch used to write songs for the band.
Yeah, but you still had.
He lost One Day.
It was still the central focus of everything was still that production, Don Jazzy's production.
Yeah, but if that's the case, then none of them will have hits outside of Don Jazzy. One Day Cole left and he got hits.
It didn't happen overnight though.
Because One Day Cole left, he didn't leave to go join another team. He left to be himself. Guys, to be your own self is hard. Do you know that with the band, do you know that Don Jazzy and the band almost sold more hits for $1 million to Storm Records?
$1 million.
$1 million back then. $1 million. Guy, when it started,
that's nothing
to Storm Records that had all them Native C and everything.
Yeah, I remember that.
Obi, the Sarz
like a partnership
or something.
At that time.
So I don't even know how it ended up, but they almost sold it. Guys, so of course in your beginning stages, you know, like I've looked at their stories. I've looked online because I followed this whole the band of Jazzy split, and I didn't like the fact that people were belittling the band, and like, you know, the band did something where, and I would hear shade. This thing sounded like it was Don Jazzy that got tired of the band. Maybe the band said, Don Jazzy said, guy, we reached a stage that if they play a song on the radio, I'll turn it off. That's what Don Jazzy told to him. And seeing Don Jazzy's part too, it seemed like he was frustrated at the band. But he'll make sure, I don't think he ever took the band serious, because he would say stuff like, the band doesn't have talent, but the band is the kind of guy where if he goes to, like if he says stay here and do something, he will stay here, but he'll make sure you know. He'll make sure you know that he's staying here. Like he would. You say the band stay here. Like with that harmonica he plays, he will know how to make it to get your attention better than somebody who probably plays better instruments or bigger instruments. And what I just took from that is that the band has the work ethic for it. It was like, look, I want to be this.
He put in the work. And I'm not taking anything from
Jazzy was Solex's drummer or something like that, or producer. Like, dude, face the fact, that man would say to you,
Don Jazzy, but you know Don Jazzy could play almost every instrument, right?
Dude, it's not about playing every instrument. Do you know the best decision Don Jazzy made?
You can't deny the talent.
Don Jazzy has made two decisions that has favored him. The first one, and which is the one that is the most ultimate one, was moving back to Nigeria with the band.
Yeah.
He was Mr. Solek's drummer. Do you know who Mr. Solek is today?
No.
He's just one, he's like all these guys you call to, you know how you were saying in our village, in my village that they used to call live band. That's what he does.
Wale, I'm not taking anything from the band. I'm just saying that what really drove, you cannot I
think they were a good team.
Dismiss the fact that what really drove that partnership.
I think they were a good team. Okay. Fair
enough. We should move on. Though. I was going to talk about what else is going on in Afrobeat, man.
Nothing new.
Burna Boy and Stefflon Don.
Yeah.
It's kind of like an obvious pairing when you really think about it.
Why?
They're both from the UK. They're both, they
both have Jamaican accents.
I never said that.
Did you see where they say where Burna is auditioning for, when he's talking to Stefflon's parents? Did you see the video?
I saw that. Wait, can I look it up again? Let me see.
Where it was like,
wait, what was it called again?
I don't even know. It was one of this comedians that was like, God, that shit was so funny, man. I don't know. Can you?
I'm about to look it up. Can
you plug my phone to me? Maybe I might have it.
Yeah, I can plug it.
But wait, let me find it first. But yeah, there was just like a lot of memes. But hey, man, shout out to the guy. Oh yeah, let me plug this one. There's another one. You know, I have the. So this one was like. This was a guy saying that this is visual representation of Burna Boy serenading Stefflon Don. Hold on.
Let me suck your breast. Suck your breast. Let me suck your breast. Suck your breast.
I just clapped.
Now that I haven't seen, it was something else I saw. I
That's what I was.
wasn't expecting.
It's like
that.
that's how the guy.
I wasn't expecting.
So that's how the guy was turning. But yeah, there's a lot of it was a lot of good stuff.
Good for them, man. And initially, he posted that video, and people were coming for him.
Oh yeah, so when he posted the video,
he posted a video of Stefflon sleeping or something.
So let me show you. There were memes that came from that too. Somebody was like, Stefflon when she woke up to Burna Boy. Hold on.
Why you niggas snitching on my ass like crazy? Niggas are snitching on my ass like snitching on my ass like man. Niggas snitching on my ass like
Yeah, but yeah, man. It was a lot of bands, but shout out to the guy, man. He said this is the first time a girl has bought him Valentine's Day stuff.
This is the first time I've seen Burna Boy claim anyone, anyways.
Man, so many Nigerian girls are pissed right now. Man.
So it must be like a serious thing because I've never seen him.
So many girls are pissed.
Try to cuff anybody. What else happened, man? What else happened? The election is still, so we have to make some calls.
I think it's over.
You think it's over? We have to make some calls.
Like 8:00.
We got to make some calls. I wanted
Did
to
you
call
message
him
him that you're gonna call him?
Yeah, I already told him I was gonna call him. Can you help me call our boy? We want to check in on one of our boys. I know he didn't vote because he didn't have his PVC card.
Isn't that why he went to Nigeria?
No, but I think he missed the deadline. But I just want to find out what's going on there. This morning I saw there were people camped outside of Tinubu's house.
Is this thing gonna hear when I'm calling?
Yeah, it'll hear. Call him.
Okay, but I don't know if he's picked up though.
You gonna know when the numbers pop up.
Okay. Is it ringing though?
It'll ring though. Yeah, I can hear
it's
it.
ringing. Go on.
Yeah, and I know that there's been some violence. It's been isolated. I don't know how bad
Yo,
it is.
Farouk, hold on a second.
Hello?
Yo, Farouk. Why do people pick up on me still talking?
Does he know well?
Farouk, hello?
He picked up.
This guy, don't snitch yourself, or hello?
Farouk.
Hello? This guy doesn't know he picked up, man.
What the heck, man?
Yeah.
Call him again.
Well, go on.
I know there were isolated incidents of violence. I don't know how bad it was, but hopefully it wasn't that bad. I'm praying for people back home. I hope it doesn't erupt into anything worse than it is. I did see there was this one video clip where I saw some guy literally paying. Did you see that video, Wale? I think I posted it on the thread. Literally paying people right before they entered the voting booth, giving them $500. Like it was wild.
You're kidding.
But I hope that was isolated.
No, it's what happens. There are some polling units that they scattered. They didn't let people.
There were some
vote.
that I saw where they had burnt the ballots. Like they burnt people's ballots, and there was this lady there, just like. In fact, let me even see if I can play it. Nigeria decides.
It's crazy shit going on down there, man.
Hold on, let me see. Yeah, I think I'm gonna find it now. It was. Hopefully it's like I said. Hopefully it's all isolated. But I know. Are you calling him?
He cut it the second time. I don't know if this guy knows. I don't know. We're gonna try one more time.
Yeah, let's try one more time.
If not, that's the end of it.
Yeah.
Yo, Farouk.
Yeah, hello?
Yo, you were talking. You didn't even know we had called you.
Oh my goodness, man.
Yeah, but
man.
we quickly cut it off. Don't worry.
Oh, shit.
We cut it off. What you up to, man?
Yo, I'm actually having a powwow with my neighbors, man.
Oh, word.
Did you guys win?
Yeah.
You
It
won?
looks like, well, it's too close now, but it's certain. Do you want me to go now and do it, or it's too late?
No, you're on air, Farouk.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Call me back in 5 minutes, please.
5 minutes. All right, we'll
listen.
call you back in 5 minutes.
All right.
We'll call you back in 5. We're gonna go on a break and we'll call you back.
All right.
So,
Okay.
all right, cut it. So, we're about to go on a break. Can you introduce this song for us, Ale?
Break song is so in keeping with the tune of who I think is the best producer right now, Sarz. Break song is Sarz featuring, well, it's WurlD featuring Sarz. It's called Ego, and I don't know if it's featuring or produced, but it's produced by Sarz anyways.
Is it so? So it's not ego.
Ego.
So it's not ego.
Ego is Yoruba, is the so
I
not
thought it
Yoruba.
was the English.
It might be ego. Don't get me wrong. That's why I say this thing. They need to put accent mark.
I swear.
But ego, okay, there are two. You know what? Scratch that out. It is ego because I just remember the lyrics to the song.
Yeah, I thought it was
You won't call
ego.
it ego. Yeah, sorry. Well, me, I thought it was ego because there's a song called Ego.
You remember you kept saying ego
it
too.
is ego. It's ego. Yeah. WurlD.
All right.
All right. Is he on here? This guy, why are you using these sound bites, man? What's your problem? Yo, Farouk, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on?
Can you hear him?
Hey, what's popping, man? Yo,
Good. What's going on?
nothing much, man. Thanks for taking this call. How's the fam doing? How's the new addition to the fam?
Family's doing good, man. Baby's eating, sleeping, doing what babies do.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah.
All right. So what's going on right now, man? Like how did the election go? Was there any violence with where you're at? Because we saw some pockets of violence here and there, but they looked isolated. We didn't know how pervasive it was.
Yeah, no, I think overall, I think elections were peaceful.
Okay.
But it seems, especially in social media, in the news, some areas they had some issues. I think some states in Lagos and the mainland,
Okay.
out there in the southeast, in the south. I believe some polling units they probably did some. They extended it, or at least they canceled it and they postponed it to a different day to have elections there. But by and large, I would say a huge percentage of elections have probably been conducted and completed right about now. Probably over 80%.
Okay.
If I had to guess.
How do you think Lagos is gonna fall? Because I heard there was some violence there too.
Yeah, I think Lagos is going to be close. In terms of here on the island, on the island, Lekki, VI, and Ikoyi, it's pretty peaceful. People went out there and voted. But in the mainland, I hear some clashes, some accusations about law enforcement suppressing people, about voting, et cetera, et cetera. But when it's all said and done, I think it's going to be close.
Okay.
Either way, if it's PDP or APC, the main two parties.
Yeah.
So it's probably going to be split right down the middle, I think. So either candidate can probably take Lagos by a couple of 100,000 votes, in my opinion.
Oh, okay.
What states do you think are going to be like the swing states?
Man, that's a good one. I think swing states, you're going to look at the middle belt. You're going to look at states like Benue, states like Kwara. Obviously, Lagos, I think, is an important one.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a soon one. No one really knows Lagos right now.
Pretty much, I think, a lot of the middle belt, because up north, core north is
Buhari, right?
You think so?
Southeast.
You really think
yeah.
Buhari
North is
got
Buhari. That's confirmed.
He's got all that on lock.
That's north, yeah.
I was seeing like a map. I don't know how true it was. Did you guys see that map? Well, there was a map I saw recently of like it was showing like the updates so far, and it looked like Buhari had taken all of the north, like literally all of it.
I haven't seen it, but it's possible.
I don't think INEC has officially released any.
They haven't.
No, they haven't
what
done
people
that.
have been doing is they go on social media and they post their actual polling units. So maybe if it's 300 people, 400 people, and then they post it. So you can kind of see a trend. And primarily, I would say in the Northwest states, you kind of see a trend. It's going more APC.
So I'm looking at Channel's news.
One
They
of the
said
battleground states is probably going to be Oyo. That's going to be a big one.
Oh wow.
In the Southwest, I think Oyo go PDP, go APC. That's a very, very important
Atiku
one.
lost his polling units to Buhari. That's the unofficial news.
No, it's true. That's actually true.
Yeah.
It is true. But, in the polling units,
it doesn't
sometimes
matter,
you might have
though.
up to-
Yeah.
What was that?
I said it doesn't really matter, though. I mean,
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Because it's just a few hundred people.
Yeah, just a
maybe
few hundred
200
people,
400
yeah.
people exactly. But it just goes to show you, wow, in your own polling unit that you lose.
That you lost,
that's
yeah.
That's not a
Yeah,
of
I
good
mean,
thing
Buhari
to have.
won his polling unit, of course.
Oh yeah, because absolutely.
The funniest thing was about him voting today that I posted the video was when his wife was about to vote. He took a quick look,
Yeah, I saw that.
make sure.
I saw that.
Make sure she wasn't trying to slide him real quick, man.
So who you
man,
rooting
kinda-
for? I'm guessing Atiku.
Man, I have to go with APC. If Atiku wins, I'm gonna have to pack my bags and come home. I'm gonna have to go out there and start looking for a job, man.
Oh,
Nine to five.
Listen to this guy.
That's
But
great.
you know, I think the important thing is, by and large, outside of pockets of violence, it's been pretty mellow, and people are not really, it's not as violent as one would expect, So I'm happy at least. But you have some pockets of violence here and there, but by and large, it's been pretty calm.
Well, that's a relief. That's a relief. I don't know. Is there anything else you wanted to ask, Wale?
No, that's it.
I think I just wanted to just get a sense of, okay, the elections have been, for the most part, peaceful, and as long as that's the case, I'm good, man.
Yeah.
However,
they have been peaceful. Now, it doesn't matter if you lose one life, you lose 100 lives. It's still a bad thing, right?
Yeah.
I think it's still too close and too early, honestly, to call who's going to win.
Okay.
But you can never rule out incumbency when you have that on, to your disposal. So we'll wait and see. But right now,
when do you think the results will be out?
I think by probably unofficially, because of social media, you kind of get a sense maybe by tomorrow afternoon. But I think by Monday, Tuesday, I think you should probably hear an announcement. No past Tuesday, in my opinion. Not past Tuesday.
Okay.
All right.
What about the the other ones like them Banky and the rest? When they're.
Oh yeah, no. The thing is this. At those levels, man. Typically, what I've seen in Nigeria is you have two main parties, and people tend to pick 9 out of 10 tend to pick between APC, PDP. I don't know how hard Banky's campaign. I saw some of his posters around.
He's retweeting some tweets about like some units saying he won some polling units and stuff like that.
Yeah, but there's overall there's like over 100.
And that's the problem too, is because most of these units you can win like by 100 here, and then the next one you lose by 1,000. You understand? You can't win that's the problem. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why some people are getting excited. They're winning polling units. You have to wait till the tabulate.
You have to wait, because they just come at you with 10,000 more votes a year.
Exactly, because you're talking 72 million votes, man. So.
All right, well,
Gonna take some time.
Good luck to everyone who's running.
Yeah,
and hopefully it stays peaceful, or it becomes peaceful. Stay safe out there, man.
And I hope everyone is okay with the results, whatever happens.
I mean, there's nothing he can do. If Atiku loses, there's nothing he can do. If he wins,
I feel like if
Buhari is going to want to do something, but he can't do anything about it.
If Atiku wins, though, they
can't do anything about it.
You think so? You don't think some people will try to fight back?
My opinion,
especially in the north.
If Atiku wins, you might have some unrest, man.
Yeah,
or if they say he won.
Yeah.
I mean, but
I
Buhari
think
will
it's more
give it
dangerous
up
for him to win and lose.
I think so too, because Buhari has some loyalists up there in the north, man. That they just like die hard. They die
So
hard.
they're gonna kill themselves. They're gonna kill them. Yeah, it's obvious. But I don't know, man. Anyways,
we'll see.
We'll see, bro.
We'll see how it goes.
All right, man. Farouk.
All right, Farouk. Anything else going on, man? How does it feel to be back? I know you were here for a minute, and
it feels good, man. It took my body about a week to adjust to the dust and the smog, but I think I'm back in line, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, back to the hustle. That's what's
back
up,
to the
Jack.
grind, baby.
All right, bro.
All right, bro. Thanks,
All right.
man. All right. So, hold on a second. I'm about to play something for y'all.
Who's this?
Yes.
No, my name is Abim Bola Osundairo, and I will be reenacting
You know
a
this
scene from Beasts of No Nation performed by
Who's this?
Idris Elba. Thank you.
Keep
and I hope
watching.
you enjoy.
Keep watching.
Is it that has brought this big family of strangers together? Was this yeah?
You know that guy, the
Was
Jussie
it
Smollett
Oh,
Nigerian.
this is him. He's an actor. He's doing Hollywood. Hollywood.
We have to get revenge.
So he's made. Wait. So he has demo videos out there.
They have a bunch
of him acting.
Him and his brother.
From the PLF and now from the
He's doing Idris Elba here.
Please cut it off. This is very disrespectful to Idris Elba.
Yo, I wanted to use that as a segue for
First of all, why is this guy never always wearing his shirts?
they always,
What's
because
going
they
on?
be working out, man. They be showing off. No, but these guys, they fall my hand, man. I don't
Not really.
understand how.
It's a good move for them. 3,500.
3,500? No, for that amount, no. I need more.
Does this guy look like he has $500?
I need more than 3,500.
Does this guy look like he has $500?
You gotta understand. You're
Answer that
filing
question.
a
Does this guy
false
look like he has $500?
police. I don't know. I can't tell. But you're filing a police report.
For you to
right?
take that 3,500, it means he doesn't have it. So
Apparently, he used to sell. They used to sell the guy drugs.
it's possible.
He said
So
ecstasy or
he does,
something.
dude. If you're going to take 3,500 for that, it means you need the money desperately.
That's crazy.
And it was a good hustle for them. The only thing is,
You think so?
what's going to happen to them?
I don't think so.
What's going to happen to them?
I don't think so.
I wouldn't do this like.
I wouldn't do it.
celebrity
But
or
what's going to
high
happen to them?
profile individual.
Nothing.
Their credibility, first of all.
What credibility?
Right. This video shows he has no credibility. It starts with he has no shame.
They have like a bunch of these.
And then
videos.
people will forget. People will forget this guy.
They'll forget this guy. Nah, I feel like someone they should give them a role in Hollywood.
The person that is
like
the person that is the loser here is the idiot that I think can be crying. on
Jussie.
TV.
Yeah, that was
And
crazy.
I wonder how Gail feels, man, after that interview.
Gail? Oh yeah, she interviewed him.
Yeah, Gail King.
Yeah, that was crazy. So what do you think? I want to hear your opinion about
who?
the whole thing.
The guys?
Jussie.
I just want to know why he did it. Like, I want to know his reasoning.
No, the thinking doesn't make sense, because when this came out, people were outraged. I wasn't, but I didn't think he was lying because I didn't even look at the story, and I'm being honest. Like, I actually just saw a headline there. It's possible. It's something that can happen. The headline was something that could happen was that the people with MAGA hats, because lately people with MAGA hats tend to want to show a stance that I can wear what I want, which they can, wherever I want. And sometimes when they go out there to provoke people and then people fall for it and then it might turn to something else. So that's what I thought. I thought it was a case of maybe they approached him, he fell for their bait, and they felt, well, they're going to do whatever. I didn't even hear about the news and all that stuff. I just heard, So I thought it was possible. And I remember even on here,
Did you know when the police came to interview him?
he was still wearing the news.
He was still wearing the news.
Yeah, that's
This
the
was
part I
almost an
saw.
hour after.
That's the part that didn't make sense to me.
The heck?
That was the part that didn't make sense to me. And the thing is, like, even on here, I remember saying the other day, I was like, when I was talking about something, I was like, oh, all these people. And then you were like, oh, who's these people? And I was like, people that, situations like this. At that point, I still didn't even believe, because I didn't still send the story.
Yeah.
I just felt.
You
they
aren't
attacked him.
really following
I wasn't really following
You probably
it.
just saw the headline
And,
just assumed
but I
and gave it
didn't,
the benefit
but
of the
I
doubt.
didn't go out there saying, I'm outraged. Everybody went in MAGA hat. I didn't go out there tweeting. I didn't go out there expressing
Some people,
this.
they were tweeting his pictures the first day he first came out.
Dude,
my Instagram feed
I
was full
saw
of
that, and
prayers
I'm
and thoughts,
disappointed
prayers
with
and
her.
thoughts.
I saw even this guy self, Bernie Sanders. He posted it. Man. So
a lot
I'm
of
very
people
disappointed
fell
with
for
that
it.
too. I'm disappointed with this lady too. What's her name? That she's on
Kamala.
the show. No, the
Kamala.
one that is on the show also,
Why are you disappointed?
because she posted a link to his song, which is like, are you serious?
Would people expect someone to actually?
No, but
make this up?
so that's the
I
thing
do.
about
That's-
outrage.
I
No.
do.
But that's the thing. You got to be careful with. That's what I was saying. Like when we're talking about politics, like with supporting people, you got to, when you're ready to throw yourself at somebody, and like you got to know your facts. Do you understand? When I'm out here saying, F was the idiot that taking the guy that does taking, because he said with his own mouth that you understand it's fact. I can't really go out there and be distressed about something that's not fact. So you gotta be careful. You can say, it's sad to hear what happened. I hope it gets better. But like, a lot of them will now start making it a political thing.
Yeah.
And what he's done is he's stupid. And like every time, I actually want to punch him. Like when I see
No,
the
I'll
interviews.
be
He's
honest
very
with you.
stupid.
I'll be honest with you. The minute the story came out, I immediately.
I didn't even read this. I didn't read
Yeah.
it. I didn't read
I
the thing.
immediately. So my own thinking was, I thought it was a false flag attack. I didn't necessarily think he was in on it. And keep in mind, we still have to see all this is still alleged, because officially it hasn't been being finalized.
It is.
By the
Well, it'll be
cops.
very hard for it to not be true.
But the reason why I thought it was a false flag attack was the scenario, everything, it just didn't add up. In Chicago, in a very affluent area, it was cold as heck the night it happened. There were just a lot of things that didn't add up. And my thinking was maybe he didn't know, but whoever attacked him was trying to frame it as Trump supporters attacking him. And maybe they weren't really Trump supporters. And he just happened to be like the unsuspecting victim.
No,
that was
remember
my
your
thinking.
theory? No, you had another
That
theory
was my
that
thinking
you told
initially.
me.
Yeah.
You had another theory.
Can you remind me?
You said that
Yeah.
because he tried to play the whole I'm a gay black man.
Yes.
You said that he probably hit on these random strangers, random guys on the street, and
So
they
that
beat
was
his
another.
ass.
So okay. So yeah, I remember. So initially that was my thinking that he wasn't in on it, and so maybe
Wasn't
like
that a theory going on? That something about someone's boyfriend?
so a few days later, I kept hearing information. The cops said they scoured after like 2 weeks. They scoured all the surveillance videos. They couldn't find anything, and then I started hearing other details. Like initially, he didn't say MAGA. He didn't tell police officers MAGA supporters or I think the quote was, "This is MAGA country." That story
Also,
came
they weren't
out.
wearing MAGA hats.
That story came out in TMZ. Then police was like,
Where would
"No,
this
we
come
didn't
from?"
hear this." They now went back to interview him, and then he confirmed that.
Well, you see-
So already there were
Yeah, you see,
inconsistencies.
the worst case scenario that I thought was that somebody beats him for something else, like you said, and he just tries to milk the situation.
Yes.
The best thing that can happen to him is that these boys are lying.
Yes.
That's the best thing. That some people did attack him.
Yes.
And it was just a random attack.
Yes.
Of something else.
Yes.
But the problem is that that's the best case scenario, which is still a loss for him because he has gone to be crying that they were white men.
Yes.
That they were shouting racial stuff, and then like, why are you wearing the noose around? Is it a chain? Like, why are you wearing it around your neck too? You know, it's not what I'm saying. So like, if he didn't do that interview, he might still be able to save face. But he did the interview to confirm, and then
he doubled down.
Do you understand?
And
It's
not
like
only that, he had some show.
Yeah.
And he was like,
I'm the
I know I'm not supposed
Tupac.
to.
Idiot.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to be talking about it and try to really.
Yeah, and then he
ask
tried to
you.
correct some things he had said or people had said.
Yeah, there were
It seemed
inconsistencies.
yeah. I mean, when you're lying, you have to think about what you
have to
said.
just
Now you
be
have to
quiet.
keep.
Yeah. Me, I was
The best thing is to keep quiet.
following it closely. Even the Nigerian brothers, I'd known about this like long before like most people knew about it because I was really following the story very closely. I then heard apparently he still had the Subway that he went to buy. When he
After
still
they
had
beat
it
him,
in
he
his
still ate
hand.
it.
He still had it in his hand.
Well, hungry
I'm
now.
like,
I mean,
this thing don't
you know,
add up, yo.
you know, like I said, best thing that could have happened to him is that can happen to him is that people just randomly attacked him. But if it wasn't random, and the reason why I think this is true is because, first of all, Nigerians are not going to die for you or go to prison for you. They're going to snitch.
They'll
And
snitch
like
on you with a heartbeat.
it was
in a heartbeat.
He's the fact that he's been arrested and released on bail. The police, they know Chicago police, they're not going to want to do. They know the backlash that will come if they get this wrong.
Yeah, they do.
And they're going to pay this guy some money too if this comes out that they do it wrong.
So that was why they had to be sure.
I think they have damning
And that was why
evidence.
it
I think they
took
have a lot of damning
forever.
evidence.
I know. I
Yeah.
can tell you some of the evidence they have. They have the check.
He's stupid. Who writes a
He
check?
wrote a check, a $3,500.
It looks like something
check.
that someone on Empire would do. So
Apparently, so let me just break it down for people that don't know, so that at least you guys are informed. And this is all alleged, according to the police. The reason why they said he did this was they said Jussie wanted to get paid on the show. According to the police, this is all alleged, by the way. He wanted to get paid, right? And so the first thing he did was he wrote like a terrorist letter. Remember that letter that came out? Like on the letter, it was a letter that was mailed to the Empire studio. And on the letter, it said, MAGA, want to kill this black, blah, blah, blah. The letter is out there. Have you seen it?
No.
Yeah, but you've seen it, right? But
all
it was a fake
all those ransom letters.
ransom letter. It was a hoax
That's how you know
letter.
that it's fake.
So that
First
happened.
of all, who writes letters? You can type it out,
So that happened, right?
or you can write with your hand.
So-
Nobody's gonna catch you.
So that happened, right? And I guess he felt like maybe there'll be sympathy for him, but it didn't make any difference. In fact, it didn't even make the news. So they're saying that, well, I guess he had to double down. Now, he happened to have these trainers that he works with, right? Two of them. Naija boys. They also happen to be extras on the show. One of them also happens to allegedly usually sell him drugs. Allegedly. This is all alleged because I ain't trying to get sued. And
he needs the money too now.
Yeah, and then they said basically he plotted with them and he told them that, look, he sent a text message. In the text message, he was like, dude, are you still going to Nigeria? They were like, yeah. He was like, all right, can we talk face to face? This was what was the text message.
So you gotta give this guy spending money, man.
So, according to the police again, they actually even reenacted this thing a few days before.
Wait, did these guys go to Nigeria at any point?
Let me finish. They reenacted this whole thing. They practiced it. And they were like, okay, so the night before you guys are going to Nigeria, and this is what's going to happen. You're going to meet here, blah, blah, blah. Then, of course, the whole thing happened. The next day, they traveled. So the cops didn't see them. All the cops had was that image of them. Remember that image of them that just showed their shadows? That was all the cops had. So the cops were already thinking, okay, this is looking funny. You know what I'm saying?
They even look like white guys in there. So.
And then the cops also realized that the amount of time that they said that they used to attack, looking from all the videos, even though there was no video, but it could have only lasted like 60 seconds, literally, based off on all the video evidence that they saw.
60 seconds to do
all of what they said. So they were already suspecting, and that's when they sat on it instead of this guy to just keep quiet.
Kept pushing.
This guy went on concerts. He said, I'm the gay Tupac. And you know what? I fought back. As if that wasn't bad enough, right? They were trying to sell music. He was saying, his manager was saying, go and download the link.
There's a noose in the video too.
Yes. There is?
There is a noose in the video.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Then he now went on Good Morning America because people were doubting the story. And that's when he started talking about blah, blah, blah.
And they started crying. Fake fucking tears. Those tears were even what gave it away from me.
But then the Nigerian guys, the plan was that they would be there for a few weeks and then they will come back when everything has died down. Of course, they came back. The police picked them up at the airport. The police knew what was going on the whole time. They knew what was going on. And then they arrested them because they were supposed to be suspects. And before you know it, they were no longer suspects. So remember I didn't mention that I think that they might have snitched. And I think that's what happened. They snitched on them.
They definitely snitched. That's why I think they have a strong case against it. They probably should have proof and say, hey.
And I think they're the ones that revealed all the stuff he gave us a check.
So that's probably so the only thing that can help him is they are lying, but he's still lying.
Yes.
About something. Regardless. He's still lying about a lot actually.
I guess the reason why I'm bringing this up is I think what it really boils down to for me is, yes, we know he fucked up. I'm not here to pile on him. You know, he effed up. Everyone has been saying it. He effed up, especially if he did this. But my own thing is, and I wish Yeti was here because this was really a conversation that I wanted Yeti to be involved in.
I would like to see
when I tried to question it, right? And this was with a lot of people. When I tried to question it, there was always this pushback, and the pushback was that how dare you doubt his story?
You're right.
How dare you doubt his story? And I think a lot of it had to do with this whole idea that if someone's a victim, you have to give them the benefit of the doubt.
You're right. And because when girls say niggas rape them, if you end up saying anything contrary to, wow, he should be jailed, they're going to attack you. Yeah. If you say like, wait, what happened? If you try to even just find out details and try to be logical,
if you even try to question anything,
they will.
For me,
and it's not a good thing, and that's where and this is and I'm kind of glad it's a guy that this happened to, because then it can show that it's not only in favor of women, it's in favor of victims as a whole.
Yeah, I don't think it's the whole victim thing. It's just innocent until proven guilty, because it's better to assume innocence first and then prove otherwise. If you assume guilt first, you have more problems and issues.
But you see, for instance, now there was a guy who was following the story in a group and he first brought up the police thing, and he posted the article that police are looking for source, but they don't think it happened. And he captured it saying, I hope this guy is not lying. This one that police are looking for more information. And my reaction was, this guy himself, what's your problem? Like, why would you think he's lying? And, I would say it truthfully, I had not read the full story of what happened, but it turns out he's been following the story. and it doesn't add up to him. And it goes to what Corey said. I looked at it and thought, why are you lying? Now, if I had really read the story, I'd be like, you know what, you make sense. It's possible. You know, and a lot of people online did really not read the story too. They really did not look into
They just saw the
They just saw it like me, and they decide to run with it and be outraged with it. And if you decide to question it a little bit, you were knowledgeable of what happened or what you've seen so far, they will come at you.
But I want to finish something here. So this Jussie thing happened, right? But that made me start like really looking into things more about these different attacks that we see, where we see headlines and we just assume like, oh shit, this is happening. And I came across this website, right? Apparently since 2017 or so, there have been many more similar hoaxes like this. A lot. Like a shitload.
By normal people or by celebrities?
By a lot of them by normal people. And so, for instance, let's look at this one. There's this one that said, okay, so how about the Covington one, for instance? They did an investigation. Remember the Covington kids, where it was supposed to be like some kind of like racist attack on this old man? They did an investigation. First of all, they found out that the guy, his story was inconsistent. He lied about being a Vietnam War veteran. He actually wasn't. He was someone that he never went to war. Yes, he was in the military during the time of Vietnam, and apparently he was a mechanic that worked on like one of the military bases, and he was part of them. But then they found out even more information that apparently he had even absconded. I'm not trying to trash the guy, but I'm just trying to say that the guy had credibility issues. But what happened? The media took that story and they painted this guy to be a victim. They did an investigation. They found out. You remember that when they were saying that the kids were shouting, "This is MAGA country." They found out that it was a lie. There were so many things that were uncovered, but you see, all this stuff people didn't hear about after the fact because people had already jumped to their conclusions, and because there were no real victims involved, people just dismissed it. Now they're suing them. They're suing all these news agencies for $250 million. They're suing the Washington Post.
They're going to get money though. What are you suing them for?
The kids. The
For
kids
what?
that they accused of being racist. Because, there was a huge backlash. There were people online saying these kids should get punished. They should get this. They should get suspended.
I mean, there was that.
Even
Was
their
that,
own school.
But
Even
was
their
that
own
picture?
school.
But was that picture that made everything?
You see, in the picture, it made it seem like they were crowding him. It turns out the guy actually walked towards them. And he actually walked to the kid. In the full context of it.
We can't dismiss that there's a
media.
tension right now in they're very sensitive topics, and people have decided to me, okay. For instance, anybody I see wearing a MAGA hat, I don't think they're wearing it because they really support Trump. I think they're wearing it to kind of provoke people.
So those kids, right? Apparently, they bought those MAGA hats when they were in DC. They had come for a protest.
I understand.
They didn't even bring it with them. It wasn't like something that was premeditated.
And that's why I said, I think when people were, I saw one recently that happened in a store, where the PacSun store, where this kid walked in with their mom, and he's wearing a MAGA hat, and one of the store workers, a white guy, too, cursed at him, and the mom started forming, "Oh my God, he cursed at my son. I need to talk to your management. I need to do this," which to me is like bullshit. And they wanted to get him fired, which ended up he got fired. But I do believe they know when they wear that hat that's what's going to happen, and they're ready to milk it. Now, is it right that people do? No, it's not right, because you can go and say the same way Obama had his Hope shirt, you can wear it. But sometimes when you intentionally do, I've never met one person that wears a MAGA hat that is not ready to provoke you.
But it's individuals that give power to these.
That's the
that's why I said,
so much
if
power?
someone walked in with a MAGA hat, you're not going to provoke me. That's your fucking business. You want me to say something, I'm not going to say that.
I
you
feel
feel
like
stupid.
we give it too much power.
But when the thing is that people tend to, so that's why I said they wear it knowing that some guy is going to provoke somebody.
There's some assholes.
And somebody will provoke, and somebody will, even if you know you're not going, even if you know you're going to a neighborhood where anyone's going to fight you, but you're going to be a topic. People are going to look at you funny. People are going to be like, take that out. So these people wear these things. The problem is that we now, as a society, just ignore them.
Yeah. It would take so much for me to even
Just
look at
ignore
your
them
hat
because
and
then they'll feel
see what it
stupid.
says.
First of all, it's a very ugly hat, so they'll feel stupid.
But let me go on. I'm just give some other instances here. In 2018, I think it was December, a 7-year-old black girl was shot dead in Houston. The media claimed it was a hate crime. It was some white supremacists that shot the girl. They had like a clip of a white guy running away from the scene. And it was like this huge thing. There was on Twitter, people were on it like, oh shit, all these hate crimes, blah blah blah. It turns out the white guy heard the gunshots and was running away. And it turns out it was another black. Was another black person that killed him.
Okay, Corey.
No, but let me go on. I mean, there are like 348 cases like this.
But this thing is isolating. This thing is isolating the situation. It does happen.
So I guess the point I'm just trying to make is that
it does happen.
There seems to be a commodity in being a victim. There seems to be, because what happens when we find out someone's a victim? You notice that we elevate that person. There's sympathy. You have people start posting like with Jussie. They start posting.
Yeah, and that's what he wanted.
This and that. And my own thing is, I think that in itself is a problem. When we start.
But what would you do? Would you now we can't. You see, the problem is this. I said this is what I want. I want Jussie to go to jail. I want that nigga to go to jail for like 10 years.
You think 10 years really?
I need him to be a scapegoat.
You don't think
I need him to be a scapegoat. I need him to be a scapegoat.
The only person that needs to go to jail
is who?
Is the media outlets.
No.
That's the only comment.
No. Not only media. But who? You can't hold. Okay.
Without.
No. Let me tell you something. No. But that's the thing. They're not investigators. Let's look at the case of that girl.
Then they need to state
but
facts,
let's be all be honest here. We're in a black neighborhood in Baltimore.
Yes.
We hear a gunshot now and we see a white guy running down the street. Are you not going to think and you see a black guy laying on the floor dead? Your first thought is, did he kill that nigga? That's your first thought.
That's
just life. That's just life. Unfortunately, that's life. But doesn't mean you're right. Now, when you start acting on things you're not right about, and there's a difference. But here's the problem: media needs content. Number one, they need content, and they're desperate for content. Number two, the problem is this:
with online media.
Yes, and the problem is this: is Twitter is so instant. So media, like I could look at that interview with Gail, and that's why I wonder how she feels. She didn't even look like she wanted to be there in the first place. But it's like, we got to do this.
They said that after he gave that interview, that most of them in that studio,
she didn't even look like
most of them in that studio.
Look at it.
They didn't believe.
So, but here's the problem.
But,
here's why
they were
I said
too scared to challenge.
Yes, challenge, and that's a fear. That's why I said, you know what? Let that guy serve some time. Let it be a scapegoat. Not 10 years, fine. That's overreacting. But let him, even if it's
I think he needs a huge fine.
Even if it's a fine of 5 million or whatever, a fine that is going to suffer from.
He can't be the scapegoat. You want to know why?
Why? Because he's black and he's gay. Well, at the end of the day,
if you make him the scapegoat,
they'll say because it's black and gay. I even saw one idiot tweet today about how so they're gonna arrest Jussie Smollett for lying about being accused, but so many women out there have been lying about fake about rape. All of them too. All of them too. Because here's what's gonna happen when you know that you do this, because what you're doing is you're spoiling for when it really does happen.
Yeah, you are.
The next one that happens, but the next one that happens, everybody's gonna be like, I don't know, man. Even the next one happens, so the person might not even want to bring it up, because then here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna start investigating their life. Like, imagine you get attacked and you say the story, but now you're gonna be under the spotlight.
That's why it's so important to look at every situation
individually.
In
its
but it's hard.
It's hard, but this is why we have a problem.
And this is why the media needs to do better.
This is not the media's job. If people like Jussie, if people are getting
job to make sure they get the news
Corey,
right,
if you know that you're going to get a fine for lying, a hefty fine that you can't afford, you think twice. You will say the truth.
Won't. People commit crimes every day.
And then they'll serve their sentence.
If there was a crime for lying, we would all be in jail.
But this is not just lying.
No. I'm saying in general, like, just because you place a fine on something doesn't mean people are going to stop.
It will reduce it.
The drinking age is now 25.
It reduce it now.
It's not going to change a thing.
It will reduce it. You got to do more work. You got to do more work to get a fake ID. And if you get carded and you're fake, and
I kind of side with you here in terms of I feel like the media needs to.
So you think Jussie should go free?
I'm not saying he should go free. He needs to be punished. I think we can do both. But I think we also need to hold the media accountable for getting these stories right, because what happens is, it creates this atmosphere in the country, a very divisive atmosphere. Remember, like that whole week.
You know what's
all
going to
people
happen.
were talking about was MAGA supporters.
Okay, so here's what's going to happen. So you have the media who needs content. You'd say, hey, you guys, before you guys can report on this thing, go and do your investigation.
I know, it's hard.
So you're having them spend money on investigating, number one. You don't know how long the investigation will take.
Investigative reporters.
Well, yeah, so it takes time. You don't know how long it will take, number one.
Yes,
number two, by the time they've gone to do their investigation, Twitter has carried this thing. This story has broken. All these online journals.
I understand what you're saying.
So they need to be in touch. They're in a very hard position.
They are, but they have to.
They're in a hard position.
They have to.
You know what would fix that? You just need a more diverse representation within the media, because you can't really change that aspect of it, but you can change the people that are actually putting this information out there, and that's what needs to happen over time.
But how that prevents?
I feel like a lot of them are very biased.
They are, but that's why I'm saying you need a more diverse representation of everyone in the media outlets, because they're the ones that shape and frame the stories.
Do you also want to be that outlet who
and these views?
Who is, like I said, last to report, number one, number two. How is it working for you?
I think if it means getting the story right, then be the last to report.
No, it's not about being first or last.
Because there's some
people care though. That's where you guys need to ask. You think people care?
Look, there's a $250 million. There's a $250 million lawsuit right now because the media didn't get it right.
To who? Who are this? Is this CNN? Is it
Washington Post?
Washington Post.
Yeah.
Okay. Good luck.
Imagine they bought Jeff Bezos bought Washington Post for $250 million.
So they now want to collect it back.
They want to. But we should move on because there's some topics that I want to actually touch on before we go, and we're running short on time. I know. Look, we can spend forever on this Jussie Smollett topic.
I want Jussie.
Like, so I get where you're coming from, but I feel like the media needs to do better. So Tristan Thompson. Speaking of line, Tristan Thompson. Do we even want to address that?
There's nothing to address. The only one I want to address is why is Chloe behaving like a little 13-year-old girl? All her posts, she's posting on there like, somebody hurt. It's very weird. It's like, you're not a kid, man. Like, and first of all,
it's not the first time.
It's not the first time. So, our family, man, I don't want to say I hate that family, but our family, like, they're very manipulative. Man.
I want to touch on this topic before we go. You had posted this, Wale. It was this topic about this guy that they were going on a honeymoon.
Yeah. So he was going on his honeymoon. He got a first class upgrade.
Yeah.
And he left his wife in coach economy.
Whoa.
And he said,
let's talk about it.
What do you think? Do you think he should have? What should he have done in that situation?
I'll tell you exactly what he should have done.
What?
Okay. If anyone was taking that upgrade,
it's her.
It better be his wife.
Why?
And at the time,
that guy's a savage, man.
At the time he offers his wife the upgrade, it's the wife's responsibility to turn it down, and they both sit their ass in coach.
Happy wife, happy life, man.
So they both have a role here.
So you think?
I think they should.
If the wife turned it down,
they both have
he
a role.
still shouldn't stay in.
No. They both.
It's
have
hard.
A role
It's
here.
hard to.
He has the role to put his wife first, and the wife has a role to support her man.
So
and they both sit in coach.
So let's just assume the wife was like, I don't really care about business class.
Yeah, you don't have to
then
take
they
it.
both need to sit in
Dude, you're traveling
so
together.
You're saying he still shouldn't?
Yeah.
The best scenario would have been pay for an upgrade for one person. But I think the guy was like, I don't think that guy thought twice. He was like, oh shit, free upgrade. All right, babe, you go back.
So did they ask him how the honeymoon went afterwards?
I don't think so.
I would be filing my divorce papers.
Really?
It's.
Like,
but it's funny though. But it's funny that everybody says.
Wait, so what does that say about his character? I'm curious.
Are you kidding me? It says so much about.
Yeah, but you see, we all say happy wife, happy life. But why can't it be happy husband, happy life?
It's not about happy
it
wife,
has to be
happy
happy
life.
Wife, though.
It's about both parties being happy.
I think, yes.
And the fact that he chose to separate.
I think he should give it to her. And but then this is hard though. The reason I say this is hard is because
they're either both sitting in business class or they're
both yes. A lot of people.
You're going on your honeymoon, and the first thing you do is, let's fly separately for how many hours?
I am curious to see how that honeymoon went.
This is why I say it's hard because social media always plays this whole. I don't want to use the word feminism, but they play this whole independent, strong. They play this whole women don't need men for stuff. So, but I noticed that everybody was almost on the same page with this and said he should give it to his wife.
Yeah,
and
unless
I'm wondering
the wife really is
why. I'm wondering why. I don't think it's deep down. I'm wondering why. Like, is there really any woman that wouldn't care? Because they try to bring this whole the way we say there's toxic masculinity. They try to bring the toxic female, whatever the version is. Like, we don't need your shit. Your shit. And like, it's like, but if you were let's take it outside of marriage. Like if that was your boyfriend, would you want him? Would you want him to fly first class and leave you in economy? No.
So I get what you're saying. So you're saying from a perspective of like feminists, where we're supposed to be equal.
Where?
Right?
When-
if we're supposed to be equal within a
There
relationship,
it should not be a problem.
then it shouldn't matter who sits
in
business
business
class.
class.
That's why I said-
Based on that ideology.
Based on that ideology.
Yes.
That's why.
But
I said
that
forget
ideology, I don't believe in that. I don't
Me
believe in
neither.
that ideology.
Me neither.
But based on this ideology, because if it was me, you give it to your wife first.
Yeah,
you give it to
my,
your significant other
my
first.
own ideology
That's
is
why I'm not.
Even if she
focusing
chose to
on-
fly it, you're like, whatever.
That's why I'm not focusing on the gender roles part.
Yeah.
And the whole equality thing that you guys are talking about. I'm talking about you have two people that are in a relationship
Yeah.
and committed to each other. Just don't separate. So it doesn't matter who's.
So you're saying
where.
both has to be in front or both have to be at the back?
They have to be
You see, a lot of
together.
people were
They
not saying that. A lot of
should be
people were
together.
saying, give it to
Okay.
the woman
That's
and
an
let her be
interesting
in front. And I'm like, but you're the same people who come and say we're kind of independent from each other. It doesn't matter, like, and stuff like that. So why are you now saying everybody somewhat agreed that give it to the wife? I don't think, maybe very few people said give it to the husband.
Wait, so was he a white guy? Just curious.
I don't know, probably. I can tell you he's not Nigerian though. That one is for sure. That one I can answer for sure.
Damn sure.
Nigerian men don't do that shit, man. Nigerian men will buy another first
That's
class
crazy.
ticket.
What else happened? R. Kelly got arrested.
Finally.
He's
Yay.
gone. He's
Whoop,
locked
whoop,
up.
whoop, whoop.
Put him under the jail.
Oh, yeah,
he might
that's
get
it.
off again. Don't
Who
get
knows,
too
who knows,
excited.
who
He
knows?
got off the first time, but I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I don't think we have any much else. Do you have anything else to
That's
add?
it, man.
Man, thank you very much, our guest co-host
Anonymous.
for filling in, Miss Anonymous. I think I might have spilled your name.
No, I don't.
I think
Anonymous,
I did
no,
once. I
no.
remember I had to catch myself. But please, we won't be back for another 2 weeks. As you guys know, we do 3 weeks on and then 1 week off. So we'll be back in like 2 weeks. Please, just a reminder, follow us on social media. We're on, especially our YouTube page. We're trying to grow our YouTube page, and we need people to help us retweet. We need people to help us share our videos. On YouTube, we're there. Search for Smiling Sufferer. Subscribe to our page. On Instagram, smiling_sufferer. Please follow us, like our videos. We're on Twitter also at SmilingPod. That's at SMILINGPOD on Twitter. And we're also on Facebook. Search for us there. We post, retweet us, shout us out. We're gonna be gone for 2 weeks, so we're gonna need as much reposting as possible. Something else I wanted to add. Wait, Wale, you got anything else?
I do.
Hey, what?
If you have an iPhone,
Yes.
definitely listen through the Apple podcast app.
Yes.
Smiling Sufferer.
Yes. And if you don't, we're also on Spotify. Search for us there. Just search for Smiling Sufferer. You find us. Follow, retweet, just shout us out, man.
All right, well,
and I think that's all we got.
closing
Wale-
song, yeah, we're sticking with Sarz off his Sarz Is Not Your Mate album. It's called Inbox Riddim. Enjoy.
Damn, we went heavy on Sarz, right?
Yeah, shout out to Sarz, man.
All right.